Hi, Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and Ascendant. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your July 2023 full moon, supermoon reading for you. Now, I ask if this reading resonates with you. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps the YouTube algorithm see that you guys enjoy this channel and this content, and it helps me out tremendously. So, thank you so very much for doing so. I wouldn't be here without you guys, so thank you. If you're interested in any of the cards that I'm using, they will all be listed in the description box below. Now, before we begin this reading, let us clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. This cleanse and meditation will be accompanied by a loud sound. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from the body like storm clouds. Letting yourself feel calm, centered, and at peace as we enter into this safe and loving space. All right, Sagittarius, let's see what energy we need to be mindful of during this Capricorn supermoon. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels. Here we have the Fool. So, what's very interesting is that one of the elements of this moon is to be like the Fool and to go for it, to go after what we want and where we need to be and what we desire for us. And yet, we're being told to be mindful of this energy. We need to be mindful that we're afraid of feeling foolish or being seen as a fool or even failing and people mocking and saying, see, I told you you'd never make it. So just be aware of this during this time. We're caring, which is another element of this moon, way too much what other people think. And we can also then like turn that around, like flip the coin and be a little bit too reckless. It's kind of like, okay, I'm done caring, contemplating putting everything together. I'm just going to go for it without thinking it through. So just be mindful about that because that'll be a recklessness that we don't really need in our lives. So just be aware. Let's see what Spirit has to say. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides, angels. Here we have serenity, a need for peace, a need to embrace calm. Like, what does serenity mean for us? What is calm? What is centering ourselves? What do we find is joyous peace to us? And that's going to be a big question during this time. So let's see what the tarot has to say. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels. Okay, perfect. Well, that's really lovely. Okay. So what's really cool is that we come through so strongly here, Sagittarius, right? We come here with the Queen of Swords. And why? Sagittarius, you're represented by the Temperance, but as soon as I put down the star, I was like, that's you. So there's something about this time really connecting with a deepest wish, a deepest desire. Now, somebody here is linked to an Aquarius energy. Just being aware of that, being aware of setting ourselves free is going to be so powerful and so just everything for us during this time. We're crowned with the Knight of Wands. Okay, that's us coming through. I also see us linked with the Queen of Swords, just knowledge coming through. Again, that's that Aquarius energy really connecting with us quite powerfully. So here we're the knight. We're going after what we desire, what we want. We're looking at things with a fiery ferocity. And that's a really big thing. Now, this moon, let's talk about it astrologically speaking for just a bit. This moon is 11 degrees 18 minutes in Capricorn. It's a supermoon, which means that it is much closer to the Earth than other moons, and this increases its power. This brings light into, what is our highest good, into the questions of what is our highest good, what are the illusions that are holding me back? And we can find that we're coming to the end of a cycle of caging ourselves in our own mind, saying, oh, but it has to be like this or it has to be like that. We're releasing expectations, which can seem like a terrible thing to do, right? It's like, oh my gosh, but it's not expectations of what I want and desire and need in my life. It's the expectation of it has to go the way I say. There's a sense of I'm freeing myself. I'm setting myself free during this time. Now, the sun is in Cancer and the moon is in Capricorn. And this is relevant because, well, it's relevant because of the power that both of those have in our lives during this time, but also because Cancer and Capricorn are sister signs. One reflects the inner self and the other reflects the outer self. Capricorn is about the outer world. It's about our outer success. Cancer is about the inner world, nurturing of the inner self and others, nurturing of our inner success. Do you have enough balance? That's a question that we're asking ourselves during this time, and the moon will be answering. It's going to be kind of surprising, the answers that come forward. Capricorn full moon has us longing for outward recognition and approval. And this is something that can totally trip us up. We want to be confident and, assured within ourselves, but we're filled with self-doubt and we're underestimating ourselves. We're really second guessing and questioning, how do I move forward? Where do I want to be? What is it that I desire in my life? Because we care so much what others think, we can really feel ourselves feeling ignored and overlooked, but we can also feel ourselves, sitting there and wanting to go back on what's appropriate for us. Like, how do I need to move forward for me? And what's interesting is everybody feels this way during this moon. Everybody feels ignored and overlooked. Everybody wants to stand out, wants to be praised, and yet we're going to be very stingy with the praise that we give to others. The full moon wants us to approve of ourselves above all else, and yet it challenges us to do so. Now, Capricorn is strongly linked with manifestation and building towards the long term. And this is increased because the sun is trine Saturn, which is enhanced by the supermoon because Capricorn is ruled by Saturn. Saturn rules Capricorn. So our ability to manifest, to say, this is what I want on this earthly plane, because Capricorn is highly linked to the earthly plane. And we're going to think, well, how do I move forward? How do I get things just right? We also want to do things by the books, rules, regulations, sitting there and doing it just so is going to be very important to us. Now, the moon is trine Jupiter, and that's important to us personally, Sagittarius, because we're ruled by Jupiter. And Jupiter also has us building for the long term. But it also has heightened, there's the word that I can't say, heightened intuitive vision. We have an ability to see our future, and we're going to see it. It could be overwhelming to us. It could be like, well, that's not what I expected. That's not what I want. And we can change it. Nothing is set in stone. And that's also what this moon needs us to know. But we are also connecting with our faith is what this moon will have. Remember, Jupiter is the Roman name for Zeus. Zeus is the king of the Greek gods, like the highest of the Greek gods, and therefore the highest of the Romans. So here, what we're going to see is that greatness is within us, and it's within all Sagittariuses. It doesn't matter, where Sagittarius falls in your chart. That aspect of yourself has greatness to it. Jupiter enhances anything that it is by. The moon, which is interesting, the moon is in Capricorn, but the moon rules Cancer. So during this time, Jupiter is enhancing the moon. It's enhancing the Cancer energy that's in, and it's enhancing the Capricorn energy that it's in, and it's enhancing the Cancer energy that it rules. And so we're going to see the intensity of Cancer and the intensity of Capricorn coming through quite powerfully. Now, Pluto is squared the nodal axis. Now, this is the north and the south lunar nodes and will be until November. Now, this dares us to break old familiar patterns that aren't helping us at all. It dares us to be the fool, which is what we're having a challenge with, to be a fool and go after what we want. and stop caring what everybody thinks. The fool in the courts of medieval times, they were the jesters. They were the ones who could say what others could never say. Here, it's like, could we do what others could never dream of doing? And the question is, can we or can't we? Pluto is the planet of rebirth. And if we lean into this energy of rebirth, our Jupiter tendencies, Jupiter that rules us, will amplify it and will open up the energy to us being reborn. Are we afraid of that? Is that something we want? How do we move forward in this energy? That's a big question for us. The nodal axis also runs deep with our soul, and it operates on a soul level and is quite rare. During the full moon, we are experiencing huge waves of photonic healing light. This is important because it increases the spin of our cells towards healing. Our soul is weaving this into our earthly bodies to heighten our creativity and our link to the divine. Also, our creative link to the divine. We can find that spirit speaks through us in profound ways, but beautiful ways. If you want to go deeper into the astrology, I highly recommend Pam Gregory's site here on YouTube, and I have her linked in the description box below. If you want to enhance the healing, I have linked in the description box below Spring Forest Qigong. It moves us here to the Knight of Wands. This is us moving forward, going after with passion and determination and focus what we really want. Knights can be reckless. They can be. That's just part of their nature. So understanding that about ourselves during this time, that we can be a bit reckless, that we can be a bit impatient, that we have a vision to what we want and want to just charge forward and getting it and achieving it and not stopping. Recognize that. Slow it down. Look at things from different angles in different ways. Connecting with our sacral chakra is also going to be super important to us. Our sacral chakra has our sensual energy, yes, but it also holds our creativity. It holds our passion. So how are we letting our passion move us forward or move forward? Is our passion defining everything for us? Or are we sitting there able to hone our passion and say, this is what I want? A night that is chaotic is dangerous. A night that is focused, well, they're also dangerous, but in a very positive way. In the way of like, I do my job. Because a knight is to defend. And they can defend with force and speed and tenacity and brilliance. But one that just is ruled by its own passions. That's dangerous in the fact that it could hurt somebody. So here, being aware of this is going to be super important because when a knight rules us, we have two roads that we go. We can be that great defender, that great help, that great second. And I know nobody wants to be second. Everybody wants to be first. And Spirit always finds that so funny. That's why I laugh. Because it's like, well, you can only have one first. And there are certain people that have that personality for it. But being a really good second, that's invaluable. Third, fourth, depending on what we're going after. That's invaluable. That's powerful. Connecting with your sacral chakra. Tap your tailbone. That's going to be a really beautiful thing for us. That's going to unlock our creativity. That's going to help loosen up, our spine. Tap very lightly, just for a little bit. You don't have to do it for long. If you do it for 2 minutes, that would be awesome. But just tap with your fingers like this, just tap your back, your tailbone. And you'll break up the blockages that are there. It moves us to our dreams, to what we deeply desire and what we wish for, the star. When we're talking about the night sky, we see the stars and we see the moon. And stars can be harder to see with the full moon because the sky is bright. But here, it's like, what do I wish for? It's that bird that's set free. The tale of Branwen, it's not a happy one. It's very Welsh, right? They're not happy tales. They're powerful and profound if you think about them and you read them and you are mature enough to know that happily ever afters aren't all the stories. And I remember when I first read them, what pulled me in when I was a teenager was that they weren't happy. It's that they had this sorrow, but this brilliance to them that was just profound. And here it's like, what do I wish for? With my voice, because we have the throat chakra here, and with my mind, because, it's like it's an indigo-y, purpley color, right? With our thoughts and with our voice, but also with our heart. What do we want? Pink is the color of the heart in Qigong. So here, it's like, what am I longing for with my heart? What am I setting free? And am I setting my heart free? Are my words and my thoughts not capitulating, but moving with my actions to set me free in a powerful, beautiful, loving way? And then we have, that dare to dream. And this is what our soul deeply wishes for. This isn't what we cross our fingers for and say, oh, I wish I had this. That'd be nice. But this is what our soul deeply longs for. And it moves us then to the Queen of Swords. The Queen of Swords is air sign energy, right? Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Enhancing this Aquarius energy right here, right? And Aquarius energy can help us find our voice, help us move forward. But the Queen of Swords cuts through doubts and fears and negativity. There's a sense of, I am claiming my voice. And we are finding that there is power in our voice. For a lot of us Sagittarius, we have to be a little bit fiercer. We're passionate, we're fiery, we like the facts and the knowledge of things, we like diving deeper into it, but it's also like you have to be a little bit suave. You have to be able to stick to your guns, stick to what you want, know what you desire, and go after it full-heartedly and with determination. There is a sense here of like, okay, this is what I want. This is what I need. And it's not having blinders on and being like blind to the rest of the world. It's very much sitting there and saying, I am speaking what I want in my life. And all the failures, all the hurts, all the pains I have gone through have given me a clear vision of my voice. It's like I can see the power of my words. I can see it in my heart. I can feel it in my mind. And we're also strengthening our own thoughts to not be swayed, because we take in all the information. And that's what a Sagittarius does. We take in all the information and we can be swayed by the logic of others. But it's their logic. Is it our logic? I'm not saying that, there's a whole different, bunch of facts. What I'm saying is that we need to know what's right for us and not have what's right for us be swayed by everybody else. And that's going to be a really big thing during this time. The Ten of Swords is the dying away of the old self, the rebirth of the new. And we're going to see during this time, we're breaking out of a cage. That's what it feels like. Out of huge betrayals, feeling hugely overwhelmed. And it's like, I'm done. I'm done. And we're going to find that every single hurt, betrayal, chaos, anger, it has taught us something. It has taught us something profound. And we move forward in that knowledge. We move forward in our instincts. We take the swords out of our back. Also know that this can be overkill. It's like our mind can be making things bigger than they are. It's like, okay, I need to step back. That's why we're breaking out of the cage. We be drowned by the emotions. And Cancer energy, it's all about the home and the self and family and emotions. And Capricorn's like, that's nice, fine, but we need to go out. We need to make money. We need to succeed. We need to achieve. And we need people to praise us. And we could just feel drowned by the expectations of ourselves, the dueling expectations. It almost feels like we're being pulled one way or the other. And it's too much. Here we have to see the reality that we want in our lives. And say every setback, every hurt, every pain has guided me forward in a way that is profound. And there's beauty within me. And it brings us to the Ace of Wands. Divinity is handing us a gift and we're taking it. Of passion, of creativity, of fire. A real sense of, this is what I want for myself. A light in the darkness that moves us forward. The Ace of Wands is that fire, that tenacity. The Ace of Wands is God's source spirit, however you see the divine, the universe, saying this is your passion. This is your brilliance. Let you shine. So we're going to find that we can be getting really passionate about things. And we can get really passionate about a lot of things. Okay? And people could say, oh, you scatter from one thing to another. It's like, no, I'm gathering my passions. We need to have time for them, yes, but I'm gathering my passions. We're going to look with fire during this time. Look at things with an illumination, with a brightness, with a ferocity that's really quite intense and really quite beautiful. It brings us then to this gift that we take, and we can use it, again, as this healing light that moves us, or we can use it as like, I'm going to burn down things that are in my way. And Spirit's like, no, don't burn it down. It's time to see our path forward, but with love guiding us, with gratitude leading us. That's going to be very important. A sense of my love leads me forward. And it brings us then to the 9 of Cups. We have a wish coming in that is our deep soul's wish that we are connecting with and that we're seeing coming forward. We kind of have felt like our wishes, our dreams have been forgotten, and they haven't. And with the 9 of Cups, this is our cross the fingers wish. This is what I want right now. This is what will make me really happy. And it's coming like sweetness, on our lips. It's a surprise. It's like, oh wow, I didn't know that life could be sweet or beautiful, or I didn't know that this can move me forward. And so the sweetness comes in. And there's also a sense of sharing it with others, sharing your beauty, sharing your connection, sharing what you desire in your life, letting that love come forward and letting it move you in the most brilliant of ways. This is joy. And this is choosing joy. I was talking with a Qigong master, and he said, we choose love. We choose joy. We tend to think that they just happen. And he's like, it's not true. We have to choose to embrace love. We have to choose to embrace joy, to embrace gratitude, and to live that way, because it's not always easy. And it would be easier. As he said, the ugly things are easier. Anger and hurt and fear and chaos, they're easier to choose, but they're not better for us. It's just kind of like, it's like easy food, right? Fast food, easy to choose, or like things that are really quick and you can microwave, easy to choose. Not always healthy for us at all, but they're easy. So here, it's saying it might be easy to be mad, and I might have every right to be mad. But there's a joy that gets to fill my heart. And that's really beautiful. Let's see what the moon has to say for herself. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels. And spirit guides, angels. And spirit guides, show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. So we have here, as we move forward, it says surrender to the divine. The realization with this moon that as this full moon shines on us, we surrender, we move forward in our power. And it says here, the realization that I am the key, that I hold so many answers, that I hold so much power. And this moon illuminates it, but we also have to surrender to what our heart longs for, to what we want in our lives, to the sense of the divine guiding us. And this is where, with the moon trine Jupiter, our internal vision of what we want for our lives, like not to be weighed down by it. Like, oh, I had to get married at this age, and I had to have kids by this age, or I had to become the CEO by this age, and I had to do this, and I had to do that. And then when it doesn't happen, we're beating ourselves up, and we're like, oh my gosh, I missed my goal. And even if we achieve the goal, it's like, well, I didn't do it when I was, 21. I didn't do it when I was 19. I didn't do it when I was, and it's like, what the heck? What the heck? When you make goals when you're 15, they're completely unrealistic, because 5 years ago you were like, what, 10? Like, come on. Let's be fair to ourselves. Let's be fair to ourselves. And now it's in divine time I move forward. The realization that I'm unlocking the key, that I'm the key, I'm unlocking the door. And I'm unlocking the fact that I am the key, that I hold so much power. And this moon gives us so much power, but it also makes us so terribly insecure that it can take that power and just like rob it away, because it's like, well, you're really going to be caring what other people think. You're really going to be feeling overwhelmed. It's really going to be a lot. And yet your dreams are coming true. And yet divinity is hearing your wishes, but we're not going to be focusing on that. Our growth comes in, and it's working through our fears. We're going to find it a bit difficult, as we embrace our wishes, as we, move forward in our dreams and what we desire. and say, this is my wish, this is my soul's deepest want. Work through our fears. It becomes hard because it's like, well, what if I fail? What if it's not right? And it's going to be growth that we see ourselves working through those fears, working through the chaos, claiming our bounty, claiming what we really want within our world. And there's pleasure in knowing that we've worked darn hard to get here, in seeing things in a way that's like, yeah, but what's hard? Yeah, I reacted that way because there was so much chaos around me. And now I'm moving forward to pleasure and love. And it says it's a time to heal. And it is. This is a healing moon. This is a healing sun. It's ones where we can start to really actualize our greatness, actualize our power. And it opens us up to the world in ways that we hadn't imagined. Don't reject the healing. It will be so easy to say, you know what, no, I'm not wanting to move forward like the fool. Like, I really care what everybody else thinks about me. And if people don't approve of me, I can't approve of myself. And then all the healing goes away. All the power goes away. The photonic healing light that's, emanating during this moon, we can say, so it's changing my cells. So it's moving me forward towards healing. I'm going to keep myself in the trenches of this reality. And I don't want to heal. And Spirit's like, please don't choose that. Of course, it is always our choice, but please, it's a time for healing. If we sit in meditation, if we go for a walk, if we say during this moon, I heal, I heal, I heal, that's going to be powerful. Nourishment comes forward. This moon nourishes us. It's a time to take action, even though we feel like, whoa, how? Even though we feel totally overwhelmed, even though we can, have a tendency to make mountains out of molehills and be dealing with people who are making mountains out of molehills all the time during this moon. It's time to take action. It's time to say, this is what I want. And that's what the Queen of Swords gives us, a clarity. She's usually, in tarot decks, she's like seen as the kind of witchy queen, and not in a nice way. But she's the most masculine of the queens. She's the one who will tell you off. She's the one who will be like, no, that's not right. And you know what? When done respectfully and saying, I matter, that's an important thing. To say, no, this is my worth. This is who I am. I matter. That's powerful. Not to chew other people out, but to say, this is who I am. If we could stand up for ourselves more, especially females, or especially, it's not even females. It's like, especially people who are people pleasers, who feel the world so much. And it's like, your sorrow hurts me. And it's like, okay, I have to look past the pain that this world gives me and look at the power this world gives me. Because we could just be swallowed by the pain, and it moves us to having clear boundaries. Your commitment is being tested, but the passion, the power, the fire is moving us forward. Have clear boundaries. We need them during this moon, Sagittarius. Our commitment is being tested. Yeah. Do you really want this? Do you really want to move forward this way? Resistance. We have been squashed, right? They have tried to break us. And it's the proverbial they, it's the they that pops into our mind when we say somebody tried to break you. It's like, yeah, I know who that is. It's a general reading. So here, it's like, they've tried to break you. You are very close to reaching your goals. They have tried to break you because you are very close to reaching your goals. Don't be broken. And that's so easy to say. It's like, stand tall. But when you feel like everything is falling apart, when everything is so hard, it's hard to stand tall. Be resilient. But more than be resilient is realize that you are resilient. Realize that you are powerful. Realize that there's more to you than meets the eye, or even that you can see at times. And it brings us then to our subconscious energy to be mindful of, and it's the Prince of Swords. When we're told to be mindful of the Prince of Swords, like, we can be a hothead. My gosh, can the Prince of Swords be a hothead? It's like when you're watching a movie or reading a book and you're like, oh no, don't do that. That's terrible. Like, that is just like throwing everything out and just being so reactionary. That's what the Prince of Swords is. It's like that character that just will stomp on everything, but think that they're moving forward, think that they're finally getting things done. They're just breaking everything. Be aware of this. It's kind of like when you're cooking a cake or cooking anything And you think, well, you know what? If it says cook it at 350, if I cook it at 450, it'll cook way faster. It's like, no, you'll start a fire. Like, stop. That's what the Prince of Swords is like. And this can also be running our mouths with just not even paying attention to what's coming out. We can have a bit of a temper because, that energy is just here. We can feel easily attacked, and people around us can have a bit of a temper and feel easily attacked. And it's like subconsciously, it could be like, that's it. I'm done. I'm hitting the destruct button. Or we can feel that people are hitting the destruct button and we're looking at them and we're like, what the heck are you doing? We can see it and we're like, what are you doing? It brings us to our subconscious spirit message, which here is wish. You have your wishes coming forward. In the tarot, you have your wishes coming forward. And now Spirit is saying, what do you wish for? What do you want? Because this is the time with such strong Saturn influence. This is the time to get things done. This is the time to be powerful and unforgettable. And it moves us to our subconscious. Let's do the tarot message, which is lovers. It's a duality. Capricorn and Cancer can feel like twins. That really gregarious, out there twin who's, the life of the party, or like always going to things, and the other twin that's more caring and more quiet and more nurturing. And, they work well together because they're twins, but they can get into huge fights because of that. And that's what this energy feels like. Embrace love. Here with the Lover's card, know that your angels are watching over you as you embrace love, as you move after what you love and what you desire. And it brings us then to our subconscious Luna message, which is gratitude. Gratitude is so important. Experience powerful change. When we embrace gratitude, when we say thank you, thank you. I woke up today. Thank you. I drank clean water. Ooh, sorry about that. Thank you. And we mean it because we take everything for granted. The more we have, the more we take for granted. And the less we have, at times, we can be so angry. It's like, why? Why is it always so darn hard? But to say thank you for the big things and for the small things. This moon moves us towards that. We want people to say thank you to us. Everybody does. But if we start saying thank you to ourselves, it makes a huge difference. It starts to lead to powerful change. And it starts to guide us forwards in ways that we could not imagine. All right. All right, Sagittarius. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I am sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all, and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy as we embrace the power, intensity, and beauty of this time and of ourselves. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Sagittarius. May blessings and prosperity always be with you. I love you all. God bless. And have a blessed supermoon. Bye.